Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is July 19th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. Check out western Washington and some of western Oregon dealing with that marine layer, but the Willamette Valley largely clear. And take a look at the Olympic Mountains. You can see they are peaking above that marine layer here as we go through this morning. More sunshine here across eastern Washington, Oregon, and you may be like, what in the heck is this thing out here? That is a Doppler radar off to the north of Pendleton. Its beams are hitting some terrain features, so it casts this signal downstream. Nothing nefarious, I promise you, going on with that, but it can be quite distracting when you're looking at the map. I've seen these Doppler radar beams hit traffic on the highways. They can hit dust and bats and birds and insects and all kinds of stuff. They run into mountaintops and can create all kinds of crazy artifacts there. But you can also see some of the showers across western Montana and Idaho. But yes, nothing nefarious going on, I promise you, with that. Little Doppler radar 101 for you. So this is Trevor Carsley, looks like, across Bonnie Lake. Sent me this image yesterday. I tried to shoot a little bit of that as well. Nice lenticular show out there. You can send me some of your images here on the community tab, where you can chat it up as well. And it's free to join the Patreon page, but you also can donate some of your hard-earned money if you are so inclined. So taking a look here, I showed this yesterday as well. I just want to drive home this point. We are increasing severe and extreme drought here across the region, and moderate drought as well has been extended across a lot of the Pacific Northwest. I'll show you some of the temperatures and some of the precipitation amounts we've been getting over the last couple of months, kind of driving this drought activity. And this is the outlook here all the way on through the next 3 months. You see the yellow is developing drought and the brown is persisting drought. So not a great look there for fire season coming up. We're just getting started in fire season here as well. So Tempest Home Weather Station's got a lightning detection system with it, and it stores all the data for you in the cloud. Very fun weather station. I highly recommend it. It's the best thing you can buy for the money. And here we go. Spokane National Weather Service talking about mild, dry, and breezy conditions. We do have elevated fire weather conditions again today for some of eastern Washington, Oregon, Idaho, on into Montana as well. And you see, as we go through tomorrow, we get the cool and breezy isolated thunderstorms near the Canadian border. And again, here Monday, Tuesday, some heavier downpours with those thunderstorms, but again, mainly across some of the higher terrain and up into the interior portions of British Columbia. And I did want to go over the fire smoke here. I'm going to go to vertically integrated. It gives a little bit of a better view, and then we're going to go back to the 12Z so we can see this run out all 48 hours. Put that into motion. Looks like the board shanty is right here. I believe that is the Bourdon fire. Somebody correct me on my pronunciation of that. And the Cram fire also still producing some smoke as we go through the day today. It doesn't look like the Bear Gulch is producing that much more here, according to the high resolution rapid refresh. And you see the fires flare up as we go through Sunday evening yet again. Oh, what is that? Looks like something drifting down here from western BC across Vancouver Island as we go through Monday morning as well. But yeah, overall not too bad as of right now. But you can see some of the Orleans fire in the green complex there across northern California, drifting some of that smoke back up across eastern Oregon. So if you're seeing some of that, that's likely where it's coming from. Now, taking a wider look at things, Hawaiian Islands, bottom left, Pacific Northwest here, we got the ridge out over the Gulf of Alaska, high to low, the weather likes to flow. We got the trough here across western British Columbia. Put that into motion. The troughing remains. You get this upper level low setting up right near western Washington. No, I shouldn't say western Washington. I'm just going to say over the entire Pacific Northwest here. And this is going to really keep our temperatures on the cooler side here and still bring some precipitation for some areas. Maybe even some thunderstorms here west of the Cascades. I'll show you some of that here in a moment as you see this ridge really amplified up across towards southern Alaska there. And we get that northwest flow, kind of keeping the onshore flow going, the chillier temperatures aloft. Doesn't feel like late July here, at least for a couple days, but then we scroll off into the extended forecast. The ridge builds in just a little bit there, but then it flattens out and we get another trough trying to show its face here as we go towards the end of next week. So we'll be watching that here closely as well. Now, we'll take a look at that here in a moment in the extended forecast, so bear with me. Now, taking a look here, you can see as we go through tonight, you can see some of that thunderstorm activity across the interior of British Columbia, some showers associated with that, especially across the Rockies. But as we go through Sunday night, look at this starting to develop off the Washington coast. Could get some thunderstorm activity with that and some showers here moving into western Oregon. Cascades look like they're a bit favored here as we go through Monday afternoon. Didn't see too much for Seattle or Portland, but you can't rule out a shower with some of that. And And then we get the wraparound moisture as we go through Tuesday morning as the system starts to kick through. But it does bring some precipitation over maybe Bellingham, portions of Skagit, Whatcom, Snohomish County, maybe getting a little bit of shower activity with that. And then that system clears out, and we'll see what is to come after we look at the extended forecaster here as we get off into the future days. Now, looking at daily 2-meter maximum temperature, again, mid-70s for Seattle, a bit warmer here across the Willamette Valley. We go to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, kind of gradual warm up as we go through next week. And pretty warm conditions here across some of western Washington by Wednesday. But then what's the next trough going to do? Looks like it cools down our temperatures a little bit here as we go towards next week. And so, again, something to watch over the next few days. Now, the gold standard, the European ensemble mean. This is yesterday afternoon's run. We'll start taking a look at the extended forecast a little bit here. There's that trough kind of moving through there, and it really opens up right across Pacific Northwest. And that's what's going to bring some potential for some precipitation here. Again, it's not going to be too heavy for most areas, but we do have that chance, and it's definitely going to keep temperatures suppressed as we go on into the early portion of next week. Ridge amplified across the Gulf of Alaska there, you can clearly see it, and then we have that ridge back up a bit here. We keep this troughing right across the Gulf of Alaska here, but this is going to be difficult to generate any precipitation here, and you can kind of see how this ridge across the center portion of the USA tries to push to the west a little bit here. So we got this cat and mouse game between this big ridge across the center portion of the USA and this troughing across some of the Gulf of Alaska there. So we'll be watching that over the next few days as well as we start to get towards the seafair time period as we go on into the later portion of July and on in through early August. Now, 15-day precipitation anomaly. You guys know my little beef I've been having here recently with the Climate Prediction Center continues to show at times some above normal precipitation amounts across the Pacific Northwest, and I'll show you why that's just not been happening. And I'm not sure why they keep doing it, but they're probably just broad brushing because they see a trough around. But anyway, here's the 15-day anomaly. Again, western BC, western Washington, western Oregon at or below normal coming up here. Interior portions above normal. GFS, ensemble mean, continues to show the same picture. And then we go to the 6 to 10 day. Okay, I don't have too much of a problem with that as we go on into July 28th. But again, this is just kind of out. This is out in left field here. This is not really pertinent. And they continue to show it. But yeah, let's take a look since July 1st. This is just the last, 17, 18 days or so, and you can see just how far below normal we have been across the area. We haven't gotten any precipitation for Seattle. We've been under that above normal there for some time over this time period, and you can see that is not a good look here, folks. A lot of areas have not gotten much precipitation at all in the month of July, and we're above normal here across much of the region, save for maybe the Oregon coast there, right along the immediate coastline there. But look at some of the Cascades of Washington between 6 to 8 degrees above normal even for this period in July, in places like Seattle 2 to 4, a lot of the Cascades 4 to 6 above normal as well. And this is all the way back here for the last 2 months, percent of average precipitation since May 20th. I mean, look at this deficit we are running here across the region. Not a good look. We're already, we already start to dry out enough here at this time of year. So yeah, we are well below normal here since May 20th at least. And here's the average temperature. Again, virtually the entire Pacific Northwest is in some form above normal here, and you can really see the Cascades of Washington, Southern Cascades, really suffering over the last 2 months as well. So here is the August monthly temperature outlook. I tend to agree with that. This was issued a couple days ago now by the Climate Prediction Center, and the below normal signal, that makes sense as well. Seasonal temperature outlook for August, September, October. This was also issued a couple days ago, above normal, really across all the lower 48 and including the West Coast. So, and you can kind of see the below normal here, kind of a near normal, equal chances here across much of Washington and Oregon. So anyway, yeah, so click like and subscribe. We will do this all again tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys then.